Bryce Young. He's been incredible. Someone tweeted out tonight, I think it was College Football Nerds, or if you look at it, and we've talked about this in other weeks too, Brian Robinson is a fine running back, but he's not Najee Harris. He's not Mark Ingram. He's not any of these guys that Alabama's had that have been able to just carry the load. He's fine, and he'll get a chance in the NFL, but he's not a first-round pick or some of the elite, or Derrick Henry, or some of these elite guys that Alabama puts out. Their wide receivers, Mechie's fine. Jameson Williams looks, pretty good, but there's a reason he got cut from Ohio State, and Ohio State has a crazy wide receiver core. That's a team that's on the rise right there in Columbus. They're playing excellent football right now. But Bryce Young has been a cheat code, and he's doing things that Alabama fans have been asking for weeks. He's getting first downs, and he's not being afraid to run the ball. Because when you add that development into your game, you are very hard to stop, because you have to account for that now. 10 carries, 42 yards. He didn't break off any crazy runs, but he picked up a couple first downs, and he made some plays, and now you have to worry about that. When he rolls out, you can't just sit back and force him to pass, because he will just run the ball on you now. And that's going to be a big development, especially if they start playing better defenses. And we've talked about this too. Alabama's gotten through the rough stretch, their gauntlet of the season. Florida, then they played a Southern Miss, but Florida, Ole Miss, at Texas A&M, at Mississippi State, rivalry game against Tennessee. Now they get a week off, fix some things. They play LSU, New Mexico State, Arkansas. They get a chance to work out some things, work out some kinks. They go to Auburn, and then they play probably Georgia in the SEC championship. They'd have to lose to both 2 of 3 against LSU, Arkansas, and Auburn to not make the SEC title game. So I think they're a pretty safe bet. But they have some things to work out against before they play Georgia, who still looks like the best team in the country. I mean, I know they had a bye week, but I don't think anybody here would disagree. But we'll see. That'll be a great game come December, and I'm looking forward to it. If I would, I'd try to go. But Alabama knocks off Tennessee 52-24. Leave your comments, reactions, thoughts, anything you want to talk about below. Plenty to talk about. The key for Alabama, and the main stat that you can take away from tonight, and I can't believe I haven't touched on this, was third down. Alabama was 15 for 20 on third down. 15 for 20. 75%. You can't have that happen. I think so too. I agree with you. A big Tennessee fan. Cody, I'll be in your country, neck of the woods for that game. I'm super excited. I usually try to go to one game a year. That game's tickets are surprisingly a little cheaper than I thought they'd be. And yeah, me and a few friends are going to come on down. It's homecoming, if I remember right. So it should be a blast. But 15 for 20 on third down just can't happen. They're out first downed by Alabama 32-10. Alabama played a great game offensively, especially as they got into the later downs and as the later the game went on. They really did play a very nice game offensively. Bryce Young is going to be in the Heisman conversation, and he's still got at least one more year, which is scary for all of college football because all these receivers are going to be back too. 31 of 43, 371 yards, 2 touchdowns, 42 yards rushing. All in all, a great night for Bryce Young. He's right in the mix in that Heisman conversation. And it's going to probably come down with that to to that Georgia game. There's a number of quarterbacks in that Heisman conversation. Kenny Pickett at Pitt is having a great year, and I know most of you are like, Pittsburgh. Yeah, they're having a good year. That Clemson defense that Georgia put up 3 points on, they just put up 27. So that's a really good offense. Sam Hartman at Wake Forest is someone today I put on the Heisman list. You have Kenneth Walker at Michigan State, who has some big games coming up. He'll play the Wolverines, the Nittany Lions, who lost a game that made me question if I hate college football. And then you have they have a game against Michigan, Penn State, and the Buckeyes. So he'll have opportunities to kind of put himself in that conversation. But right now, you'd have to think it's maybe Bryce Young's to lose as far as the Heisman, which would be crazy. Because up until in 2009, Alabama didn't have any Heisman winners, and Bryce Young's looking to be their fourth in 11 years. With Devontae and Derek and Mark, first quarterback, which is even crazier because everyone thought Tua might have a chance to win it in 19. I think he probably blew his chance in 18 when he had that awful game against Georgia. Just awful. He was awful in that game. He was hurt, and I don't want to take that away from him, but he was bad in that game. You don't ever want to take that away from him. But, yeah, Bryce Young just looks to be a cheat code. It's stupid. And he made some plays tonight. There was a sequence where he threw where his composure blew me away. As a guy that's younger than me, much younger. He's like 5 years. I'm 20. Oh God, I'm 25 now. So he tried just throwing the ball away, and it almost got picked off. He just kind of threw it into the dirt, and it almost got picked off. And he looked a little rattled because he got thrown down. And the next play, not the cleanest pocket, steps up, deep ball, Jamison Williams, big play. Ooh, that's just what Jamison Williams does, man. Makes big plays. And his composure is fantastic. Now that he's starting to run the ball a little bit and not just keep his eyes downfield, which I completely respect. But he's becoming a more complete quarterback as the season goes on. And he's a sophomore. He is a sophomore.